Hey YouTubers, this is Joe Orsak and this is my first video, so I'm going to get right into it. I hope that we can share questions and comments with each other in a civil, peaceful way, as we would if we were sitting down for a nice cup of coffee or tea or whatever it is you drink. So, with that said, let's get right into it. In this video I'm going to address the common Muslim response to John 10:30, wherein Jesus states that he is one with the Father. The common Muslim assertion is that Jesus was stating that he is simply one in purpose with the Father. Now this is the common Muslim assertion, but let's see if the context really allows for such a claim. First of all, the context of the statement is beginning in John 10:23, where the Jews asked the simple and direct question, "How long will you keep us in suspense? If you are the Christ, tell us plainly." Now, if you consider the common Muslim suggestion that Jesus is stating that he is one in purpose as the answer to their question, you immediately see that Jesus would not have answered the question. It would be completely nonsensical. For example, the Jews say, "Jesus, tell us who you are." Jesus' response, "I am one in purpose with the Father." What? That makes no sense. Now consider the standard Christian interpretation. The Jews ask, "Jesus, tell us who you are." Jesus' response, "I and the Father are one in the same." Now that makes sense. So, right off the bat, the Muslim answer is already suspect because it does not answer the simple question at hand. So let's look at the rest of the context and see if the argument can be rescued from its already flawed start. Number one, he states that he's already told them who he is. Verse 25. Now, where did he say that? Well, just a few short chapters ago. Chapter 8. They ask him the same question. "Tell us who you are." His response, "Truly, truly, before Abraham was, I am." I've already told you guys, I am eternal. I existed before Abraham, and no, it was not existed in the mind of Abraham, because also that would not have answered their question. Who are you? I'm one in the mind of God. Yeah. Sorry, it doesn't answer the question. Just the same. I am. I'm eternal. I am. And you know what, guys? He says, I've already told you, but you don't believe me because you're not my sheep. At least believe my works. Right? That's what he tells them. You don't believe me? At least you should believe my works. And what are my works? Well, number two. Let's get into that. He says that his works are, verse 28, I give them eternal life. That's a work. And let's be honest, guys. Giving eternal life is an attribute that only God has the capacity to give. So he tells them that he gives eternal life. That's an example of his works. I've given you not only who I am, but I've given you an attribute of God as an example of who I am. Very simple. But he tells them, you do not believe because you're not one of my sheep. My sheep hear my voice. I give them eternal life. My sheep are in my hand, and no one can snatch them from my hand. Now pay close attention here. He says that they're in his hand. But the very next verse, he states that my sheep are in my Father's hand. And my Father's greater than all. Nobody can take them from my Father's hand. What's this, Jesus? Just a minute ago they were in your hand. Now they're in your Father's hand. Make up your mind. I don't understand. Explain it to me. Well, he does. The very next thing he does is explain the apparent contradiction of the sheep being in his hand, the sheep being in his Father's hand. He states that I and the Father are one. His hand is one and the same with his Father's hand. That not only answers that immediate apparent contradiction there, but it also answers the Jews' question, tell us who you are. I am one and the same with the Father. That's who I am. Did the Jews get what he was getting at? Absolutely they did. They said, we're going to kill you. We're going to stone you for your blasphemy, for making yourself equal with God. That is the context. That makes it clear. And only that answers all the questions at hand. One and the same with the Father. One in purpose simply does not answer the question. Thanks, and that concludes my first video.